The policy process for us is not about what we say to you, to our structures and to young people, but it is about the feedback that we receive from them. So I think that's what will be more critical. And just as a brief background, national youth policy processes, I think this is the third installment of a national youth policy. The last one was the national youth policy, which was signed into policy by the late Manto Chabalala Msimang, who was the minister in the presidency, which was the youth policy 2009-2014. So the current process that we are involved in is what we refer to as the Youth Policy 2020, which is a review of that previous youth policy and also looking at what are the contemporary and current challenges that face young people. We have had, this is one of the many consultative meetings that we have been having over time, and we will be continuing to have over time until the mid-March, where we'll be having a national consultative conference where youth organizations will still be called to come and make their final say, and then we'll hand over that policy to the minister and the presidency to sign, and therefore committing government on the set of interventions that they will be making between now and the year 2020. So essentially that's the process. So we're hoping that even beyond what you will say here, which we are obviously going to be taking note of, we're also hoping that you will make written submissions so that we are able to echo the voices of young people in Tshwane, in the capital city.
I think it actually befits me to preface my commentary by saying that I'm actually pleased with this consultation process, as it does incorporate young people into the mainstream national dialogue. And indeed, it confirms that the juvenile cohort is part and parcel of the vocal society.
I just would like to know, maybe, is there a way maybe we can engage through your office, the youth desk, to engage the Public Service Commission, to look at the employment side of the people employed in the youth sector. Okay, the percentage of employment is pretty much people are over 35 again, and there's a case to make there in terms of this sector, which is youth, which is supposedly serviced. How much employment is it for people under that age group of 18, maybe 19 to 34, 35?
We need to look at the issue of the poor quality schooling that we have in this country, which leads to a cycle of poverty. And the last one, we need to look at the issue of patriotism amongst the youth policy. It must articulate that.
I've been a practitioner in the youth development sector, and I think the challenge that is faced in looking at the 2009 to 2014 and now policy, when we speak of institutionalization, we just mentioned in the policy that it should also apply in province and at a local level. And I think we should really prescribe as to what kind of youth directorates or youth focal points are we talking about, because the truth of the matter is this is a political agenda of the ANC, and we can't leave it to chance to comrades in municipalities or in provincial departments or at a provincial level to decide as to how they want it. In many times, all these units end up not being capacitated or budgeted for. So I suggest that the policies should also speak to that issue, Deputy Minister. And I will leave another minute to complete that.
The youth policy speaks about this youth focal points. I have a youth focal point at DPE, and there's so many youth directorates, and you guys play an oversight role. I've never had a situation where NYDA comes to the department and say, look, there's a youth directorate, what are the programs, what are you guys doing? And, you know, so there is also that gap, there is that structural imbalance. You create, you come up with beautiful ideas, you come up with beautiful policies, but there is no, a proper implementation model.
Thank you.